Hey. Well, my apologies. That video caught me with my pants down, so to speak. It shut off before I could give you the sheriff's number. So, if you want to grab that pen and paper, pencil, crayon, Sharpie, whatever you got, open up your computer and type it into a document. I'm going to read the number again. You call the Kalkaska County Sheriff, ask him why he doesn't follow the order from the prosecutor. And you can talk to the undersheriff and ask him why he doesn't arrest the sheriff. And anybody in there that answers the phone, that document was not to be suppressed. We read that, I believe. $30,000 fine for suppressing it. I believe I ordered him to share it. So anybody that's in that department that continues to collect a paycheck and give aid and comfort to the sheriff and the undersheriff, in my opinion, they're guilty of treason. Giving aid and comfort to the enemy. Go in there and support them, do their job, keep on playing in the system. All right, you got that pen and paper ready? I hope so. If not, I'm going to try and give you another chance. Well, I don't get caught with my pants down, so to speak. All right, Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department. Their address is 605 North Birch Street, Kalkaska, Michigan, 49646. The phone number, 231-258-8686, extension 1402 for the undersheriff. Again, I don't know the extension for the sheriff. My guess is the sheriff won't talk with you because he won't talk with me. And the undersheriff probably won't talk with you because he won't talk with me. Repeated request. What are they hiding from? What's wrong with these people? They're supposed to be accessible and accountable. Duty bound. Right? You understand why we need a constitutional accountability committee with the knowledge of citizens' arrest? It's my opinion that the Kalkaska County Sheriff, undersheriff, and anybody that has not resigned from that office got to go behind them bars. And they got to go before the people. That's really. You want to stand for it? What about your county? What about your sheriff department? Now, veterans, I'm calling out to you again. We need you here at home now. We have got to fix this now. There are people in prison that don't belong there. People in jail that don't belong there. People being trampled and trespassed left and right every day. With a very negative effect. Financially, spiritually, emotionally. Not just on the individual who's being trespassed, but on this country. This is life and death. This is freedom and liberty. that is being trampled by our servants. It's got to end. Want that phone number? Kalkaska County Sheriff. 231-258-8686. 231-258-8686. If I say it enough times, you can memorize it. We used to do that back in the old days when the phone was tied to the cord and sitting on a desk or hung on a wall. We memorized numbers. 231-258-8686. And that's how we did it. We did it in blocks. 231-258-8686. Kalkaska County Sheriff. All right. So we got into discovery with D. Christopher Evans, DEA Administrative Chief. He failed to respond. Now, I only know 3 ways to respond to these questions. There may be more. I only know of 3. You can admit, you can deny, or you can say, can neither admit or deny. This is why we like to put in evidence and exhibits. You put the evidence in front of them, you take away can neither admit or deny. You also take away deny. The only thing they can respond with is admit. And failure to respond is admitting by acquiescence, as the contract stipulates in court. So, what did I want Christopher D. Evans, DEA Administrative Chief, to answer? All right, we'll get to some reading here. Admit that the DEA has not responded to my petition received by the DEA May 6th, 2021. Admit. Now I got back to commentary. I got certified mail receipt for payment and delivery. Back to reading. Admit, government is to be responsive and accountable to the people. If I hold this up here, then I'm not looking down so much. I try and do that. That was commentary. Back to reading. Admit that the people have right to redress and remedy for any wrong committed by any of the public servants against the people. Excuse me. Admit that Mr. Ethan D. Dean represents and stands for all the people and their constitutional rights of the United States Health Freedom Challenge to the DEA and the federal governing body of authority over the DEA. How about that? I do. I didn't deny it. That was commentary. Back to reading. Admit that Ethan D. Dean is one of the people of the great republic state of Michigan. Admit that Mr. Ethan D. Dean has made representations to the DEA and is one of the people with constitutionally guaranteed rights. Admit that the National Institute of Health has no proof to support the current schedule of cannabis. Admit that suggesting a toxic poison for humans as a patent claim is an evil, wicked attempt and an act of fraud that has had negative impact on all humanity, from suppressing the discoveries of cannabis in oral health set before the United States Patent and Trademark Office by and through Mr. Ethan D. Dean's patent attorney, Mr. Goodloe, back in the year of our Lord 2016, over 5 years ago. Admit that novel patent claims with amazing, unheard of human health benefits should be fast-tracked. Admit that novel patent claims with amazing, unheard of human health benefits with documented proof should not be criminalized. Now back to commentary. You ever know anybody that's had a problem with marijuana and a servant? I do. Way too many. And it's happening right now, all over this country, on a continual basis, as well as being denied your optimal oral health, being forced to suffer with tooth decay and receding gums and tooth loss, all kinds of diseases from those root canals, diseases and conditions. Back to reading. Admit that criminalizing beneficial human health outcomes supported with righteous novel patent claims responsible for amazing, unheard of human health benefits with documented proof that the National Institute of Health just wasted 1.8 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars and years trying to subvert said beneficial outcomes is nefariously wicked and evil to be perpetrated on the people and is criminal. All right, back to commentary. I have email correspondence copies with the National Institute of Health on this. Boy, they run me around in circles. If not, the NIH, a department of the NIH. I got the email. National Institute of Health funded $1.8 billion to rejuvenate gum tissue. They did it under the heading for the study titled Revolutionizing the Root Canal. In May 2016, that same month, orders for my arrest and incarceration happened. That was after I submitted my evidence to the licensing authority in Washington State and was working with legislators and economic development and city council to bring this to you. Since then, since 2015, every year, approximately 15 million root canal teeth are installed in our mouths here in America. Every one of them is a toxic tooth. The cause of 90% of heart attacks, the majority of breast cancer, and is a cause of virtually every inflammatory disease, and extremely costly. What are you going to do about it? You got that pen and paper? Calcasas County Sheriff's Department, 231-258-8686. Ethan, how come you haven't memorized this? Because my head is so full of everything right now, I'm not trying to memorize it. Bet you by the time this video is done, I'm going to have it memorized, because the 231, that's easy. And the 8686, that's easy too. And I think the other one's 258. So let's take a look. Hey, see, that's the way we did it back in the day. 231-258-8686. 231-258-8686. 231-258-8686. Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department. Got an order for arrest from the prosecutor. Court ordered. Again, if you knew you were free, none of this would be necessary. None of it. Got a foot of snow just fell last night. Got 5 more inches coming. Now, I'm not complaining. Okay? What I'm going to say right now, right here, understand, I am not complaining. I am blessed. I am blessed to be here bringing you this news. I am blessed to be here in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts and barefoot. And I'll guarantee you that I am. Because I got good heat. I got good wood. I got enough wood in for the winter. I can stay warm. A lot of times I got the door open. All right? I got shelter. A couple of kind people have helped with some donations. Otherwise, none of these videos would be going out because I wouldn't have the service. I wouldn't have the electricity. All right? I am not complaining. I got some things to say that I want you to understand. There's a foot of snow outside. 5 more inches coming. I don't have a pair of snow boots. I have 1 pair of shoes. It's coming apart at the seams. I do have a pair of work boots. They're a little bit small for my feet and they're steel-toed. They're not ideal to be outside dealing with what I got to deal with when I go outside. So I do a little improvising. All right. That is an example of my life. I don't have money to buy shoes. I don't have money to buy socks. Bath towels, bed sheets, cleaning products, toilet paper. I don't have it. I have 1 flannel shirt that a friend of mine gave me 2 years ago that I can wear in public. Otherwise, around here, see, I know I can get my arm into this thing one way or another. There we go. All right. That's the way we dress around here. That's what we got. Oh, no. Actually, I'm really, I got more than that. See, because I got this one. And I know I get my arm in there. There we go. See, that's the way we do it around here. A couple months ago, I quit going to the food bank because this is a game of life and death. And they had a new employee in there. God said, Ethan, don't come here anymore. So I didn't. So for a month, I ate peanut butter and sugar. I had about 10, 15, I'm not sure, I can't remember, things of peanut butter. And I had some white sugar. About 4 heaping spoons a day is what I existed on. I like to drink coffee. I like to smoke. I went a week without a cigarette, and I went over a week without coffee. That's okay. Again, I'm not complaining. I've had a pretty good life. And I'm going to be extremely wealthy wealthy beyond measure. Well, it's going to be measured. So I could use a little bit of help. And you can donate $1. That'll add up. So since I've been doing this, humbling myself, be a beggar, it's been really difficult. Difficult to ask for money. Difficult to do. It'd be much easier for somebody else to pick up my cause and raise some money for me, to do a fundraiser for me. I could raise money for you much easier than I can raise money for me. Nobody knows me. I got no credibility. Well, as that changes, things will change. The first donation I got was $200. The last donation I got was $200. In between there had been anything, 20 to 50, like that. So I have not seen $1,000 in donations. It's been enough to keep the lights on, keep the internet on, keep some food in my belly, repaired my chainsaw, and I was able to bring in the wood. Bone on bone knees, bone on bone back, bone on bone hip, if not close to it. You see, when I came back from Jamaica, I had less than $100 in my pocket. I went on assistance. They want you to go and get a physical. I just talked to the doctor about a couple of my worst things, and then he did some tests. And he wants knee replacement, hip replacement. I don't know what he thought he was going to do with my back, but I ain't having none of that. Not when I know I can rebuild my joints and I can rejuvenate my body. So, point is, they do everything they can to destroy people like me. And there's an incredible amount of forces working against you, because you've been trained to be a slave and dumbed down to not know you're a slave. So you think you're free, but you live like a slave. You succumb to assumptions and presumptions. Again, if you knew you were free, none of this would matter. So if you can support me with a cup of coffee, I like coffee. If you can support me with a cigarette, the world is my ashtray. Now I buy a pound of tobacco and papers. I roll my own, so I smoke for about $1 a day. That's my vice, about $1 a day. And coffee, $2 a day. All right. So this is no pity party. Again, I feel very blessed. I do. I don't feel down in the dumps. I got optimism. I know there's people out there that are going to help. If $1,200 donations came in, I'd have $200,000. I'd be putting up billboards. I would be fighting harder for you. I'd have wheels that I could get out and about and meet with people. I don't have dependable transportation at all. There's been one repair after another, after another, after another. Now, when I came back from Jamaica, this place was insulation. There was no drywall. There was no cabinets. The floor needed to be replaced. Now, I've done this. I did it. I did the drywall. I put up the cabinets. They were raw. I sanded them, I stained them, I varnished them. My buddy had a cabinet full of knobs. He gave them to me. I put the knobs on. Okay. Got a new refrigerator. Cut my electric bill doing so. Got rid of the gas stove, put in an electric stove. Life is much better. And I got heat. A lot of times I got the door wall cracked or the door open. It'd get up like 90 and hotter. I get lots of fresh air. I get to perspire, which is good for my health. I get to exercise of dealing with all that wood, bringing it in, stacking it up, and then clearing the snow and bringing it in and enjoying the heat. So I'm truly blessed. And I've learned so much, and I get to share with you. So those that can help financially, in the description of all my videos, you should find a link for PayPal or my Cash App name. And all right, I don't want to belabor on that too much, but it needed to be said. I hope I said it dignified enough. I hope you can understand. I'm fighting for you. Oh, I had a contract. You're making $10 a day if you're not incarcerated. If you're incarcerated, you're making $100,000 a day. That's going to add up pretty quick. Let's see, where did we leave off here? Maybe here, I'll read this maybe again. Admit that novel patent claims with amazing unheard of human health benefits should be fast-tracked. Admit that novel patent claims with amazing unheard of human health benefits with documented proof should not be criminalized. Admit that criminalizing beneficial human health outcomes supported with righteous novel patent claims responsible for amazing unheard of human health benefits with documented proof that the National Institute of Health just wasted 1.8 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars and years of trying to subvert said beneficial outcomes is nefariously wicked and evil to be perpetrated on the people and is criminal. I did read that again. That was worth reading again, wasn't it? What are you going to do? 231-258-8686. Did I get that right? I think I did. Gotta look at the card. 231-258-8686. Yep, that's what it says. All right. Admit that United States Patent and Trademark Office Examiner Michael Miller, M-E-L-L-E-R, however you pronounce that. That's how you spell it. Michael Miller. Is this guy still drawing a paycheck? Unbelievable. All right. Examiner Michael Miller committed a fraud that has had a negative financial global impact to Mr. Ethan D. Dean as it relates to commerce and his intellectual property. Admit that United States Patent and Trademark Office Examiner Michael Miller knowingly committed a treasonous act against the people of the U.S. and a fraud on the world in suppressing medical breakthrough discoveries in oral health that prevent tooth decay, prevent loss of gum tissue, remove calcified oral plaques, and rejuvenate lost gum tissue, which is important to immune function. Yeah, so here you are in the middle of COVID, Everybody wants a strong immune system, and your body is being torn down because you got root canals, because you got toxic teeth, because you got bad oral flora, because you don't have a nourished endocannabinoid system. Virtually every organ in your body is deficient. These parasites. What are you going to do about it? 231-258-8686, Kalkaska County Sheriff. Or maybe based on the people's information, you got a sheriff in your county who wants this order. Let me know. Or have him contact me, him or her. Any sheriff in this country can do this. We just need one. All you constitutional sheriffs, calling on you. You might get a notice on this. People are learning how to send notices. And something else you can do, people. You can share this link with the sheriff. He can watch the videos, all of them that I've created on this topic. We need a constitutional accountability committee trained in citizens arrest. Back to reading. Admit that knowingly, with malice, the suppression of Mr. Ethan D. Dean's proven, patented, and pending discoveries by the DEA are wicked, evil, torturous interference in an economic interest. Because I got patent pending. Patented and patent pending. Taking way too long and costing way too much money. All right. Where did I leave off? Admit that the nefarious actions taken by United States Patent and Trademark Office Examiner Michael Miller suppressed and oppressed the proper standard of development of Mr. Ethan D. Dean's intellectual property from within the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and that the public servants involved and those in charge of oversight of the United States Patent and Trademark Office are accountable to the people at all times. They are. That's commentary. Back to reading. Admit Mr. Ethan D. Dean finds himself dealing with bad actors in several government institutions. And that's fact. So, after the patent was denied, I called my patent attorney. I told him, I said, I don't feel like I'm on a level playing field. I said that after saying a lot of other things, like I've had independent reviews of my patent application by Genius, patent attorney, Cannabis guy. Yeah. And he said, I'm on my way. It looks like I'm on my way to issue. And I got many patents to pursue in that application. So I'm patent and patent pending. And I got off on that because it was denied. I fought for it. Paid and won. Now, you get a notice of allowance. You got a minimal amount of time to perform. You got to make a payment. You got to pay an allowance fee. And if you got application patents in your original application, you need to file at least one continuation to keep everything alive. That's more money. That's got to be done before the patent issues. You got to pay the issue fee before the patent issues. And before it becomes prior art, which the publication creates the prior art. I'm barred at that point from international patents. So, what that last paragraph ended off with, dealing with bad actors in several government institutions. So, I believe one of the exhibits that went along with this was with regards to Michigan unemployment, because that looks like that's what I'm going to read next. Admit that Michigan unemployment examiner Connor Clemens is placed in a position that he has no understanding of. Has no understanding of that he is fully competent and his actions are intentionally fraudulent, evil, and wicked. Admit that Michigan Unemployment Agency examiner Connor Clemens oppressed Mr. Ethan D. Dean's position. Admit that the Michigan State Police, the Kalkaska County Sheriff, the DEA, the National Institute of Health, Michigan Unemployment, United States Patent and Trademark Office, and the federal agency that froze the banking of blank cannabis research in 2018 have all had an extremely negative impact on Ethan D. Dean's liberty. Admit that the Michigan State Police, the Kalkaska County Sheriff, Drug Enforcement Agency, National Institute of Health, Michigan Unemployment Agency, United States Patent and Trademark Office, and the federal agency that froze the banking of blank cannabis research have all had an extremely negative impact on humanity in suppressing and oppressing the human health benefits of cannabis. Admit that oral plaque is a known cause of tooth decay. Admit that tooth decay harms humans. Admit that tooth decay leads to poor oral health. Admit that toxic teeth do kill Americans. Admit the National Institute of Health has no proof that a root canal tooth is safe. Admit the American Dental Association has no proof that a root canal tooth is safe. Apparently. Oh, no, American Dental. First one was National Institute of Health. Now this one, okay. Admit that the American Dental Association has no proof that a root canal tooth is safe. Admit that reportedly there are 15 million root canal procedures performed in the United States of America annually. Admit that there is a great financial cost to 15 million root canal procedures annually in the United States. Admit that there is an extreme amount of pain and suffering from 15 million rotten, decayed teeth requiring a root canal procedure annually in the United States of America. Admit that the United States of America population is a small fraction of the world's population. Think about that. The whole world has been affected by this negatively. I talk about that in here. And again, none of this would be necessary if you understood your state constitution and who you are. Okay. Admit that mammals suffer from tooth decay. Admit that tooth decay is the primary cause and reason for need of a root canal or an implant. Admit that there are bodies of scientific evidence that all root canal teeth are toxic. Admit that the United States National Library of Medicine position on lost gum tissue prior to the National Institute of Health funding $1.8 billion the year of our Lord 2016 to rejuvenate lost gum tissue under the disguised title Revolutionizing the Root Canal was that if you have lost gum tissue, it's gone forever and not coming back. Admit that the United States National Library of Medicine position on lost gum tissue prior to the National Institute of Health funding $1.8 billion to rejuvenate lost gum tissue under the disguised title Revolutionizing the Root Canal.